dispensation of Biafrans, this very prime minister, this very Biafran government in exile, the de facto government in the homeland, are not in for play. Mazen Namdekanu told you guys that when we will start our own madness, that our own madness will come with swag. And it will be nothing compared to what the Boko Harams have done. Because the Boko Harams are people that don't know their left from the right. So how about people that knows where they are going, people that have gone to school, learn one trade and another, and understand what life is all about? During the genocidal war of 66 to 70s, we produced everything that we use. The ammunitions that we use, we produce them. We did not buy or acquire them from anywhere. But when you listen to Musa speak from Abuja on Channels Television, he tell you that they buy everything they have to use as ammunitions. This is after 63 years. So a country with no visions, a country with no dreams and aspirations, a country with nothing achieved and put on the table for over 63 years. It's not a country that can go to anywhere. Then Biafra stood, produced everything they use to destroy one Nigeria in 3 years and sustain it. And then in this very day, we are making use of all the antics and all the tactics and all the innovations of the day. And that which we have not yet known, they are all coming. Those that were massacred and slaughtered on the order of Tinubu, and those that were also arrested and locked up, they are still in detention in the name of exemplifying their tenancy of democracy. Lekki Tollgate massacre was a way of exercising democracy, the power of democracy. So when they were talking about democracy yesterday, did you all wonder to ask them what happened in Lekki Tollgate as a message of democracy? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. I heard them speak about democracy. I heard all of them speak about democracy. They say fair play, peace, unity, progress, bringing in the protesters and listening to their grievances. I heard them speak and say they were the fathers of protest, that they protested to see democracy come to be. They protested to see a civil rule come to be that was transcended from the military rule to the civilian so that it will be democratic. What has become democratic since that time till now? And what is different from what ensued when they were all arrested and locked up that has happened now? Is it not the same way that they were arrested and locked up under a tyrannic government that they themselves now have arrested other people and locked up, and then they come back to sit down and talk about democracy? The youth that were massacred in Lekki Tollgate and all over Nigeria, which my own blood is part of them, it was not even in Lekki Tollgate, but it was in far back Akwa Ibom, where he walked out to go, and he did not even engage himself in the protests of the Lekki. He was just going his own. He did not engage himself in the NSAS protest. But a stray bullet that was shot by the police to disperse the protesters just came and then scattered the skull into two. This is somebody that just walked out of the house 5 minutes ago and gave a kiss to the children on the cheek. And then suddenly the brain were scattered on the floor. So it is not everybody that died at the Lekki toll gate. There are many other massacres that were ongoing all around the country in the same name of the NSAS on that very day. So if you've been a victim of one Nigeria and one another, One way or another, you should understand what we mean. So, those people that went out to actually protest, they were exercising their right of democracy. They were exercising their right to speak and to make people know and to remember that, oh, someday there was a democracy that we talked about and we brought it to play. We transcended from the military rule, then we decided to speak of a democratic rule. That is what gave them the umbrella to go out because they thought they were in a democratic rule. And then they say, kill all of them. They shot at them. Today you hear them speak of democracy. What democracy do you speak of? When people cannot protest anymore, what democracy do you speak of? When freedom fighters and those that are speaking for peace, those that are speaking for a new nation, those that are protesting against insurgents, those that are protesting against the terrorists, students will protest and then you will call police to go and arrest and kill them. Before the June 12 nonsense that came up, a day to the June 12, on the night of that very day, the protest organizer was arrested and locked up in Lagos. Those that wanted to protest on the June 12th, the organizer, the leader, was arrested and locked up so that he will not surface on the June 12th, so that there will be no protest of any kind, so that they will not come and express their grievances, so that he will not come and lead the people and let them talk. Because after all, you see that Showore was paid off and then he went back to his comfort zone. Sunday Ibu is on his own also. So they have all been freed and then they have to keep quiet. So those now that were about to organize another protest yesterday, they arrested them and locked them up. It's even good that they did not kidnap. They arrested and locked them up. So maybe after yesterday, today, tomorrow, they may now release them. Because as of today, when I read the news, they are still demanding for their release. Yet you had them sit down and they were reading one long note and talking about democracy. Tinubu, from the pre-recorded video that he was reading, he said many of them were arrested and locked up while in the homeland, while others were in exile. He said others were outside the prison, some governors, some attorneys, some lawyers, some commissioners were still canvassing for their release, and they continued the revolution mandate. They continued the protests, they continued to speak for democracy to stay stand, while others were locked up in detention out of tyranny. Now, I'm asking all of us today, what is different from what was done of 25 years ago and what is done today? Are protesters, are journalists not being arrested and kidnapped and locked up because they expose the ignorant crimes of the ruling class? They went as far as Kenya to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to lock him up because he speaks against the corruption of one Nigeria. He exposes them and tells the entire world and the entire people of Nigeria what was to come. They kidnap. So kidnapping is a breach of democracy. So they tell me now. Kidnapping is part of democracy. If you are practicing democracy in your country, you have to kidnap any citizen as a government, lock him or her up because they do what? They open their mouth to speak. Yet they say there is freedom of speech. Yet they say there is freedom of association. Here they say there's freedom of worship. Here they say there is freedom of choice. Here they say there is freedom for you to decide who you want to be, how you want to be, what you want to do, who you want to talk to, and who you don't want to talk to, whether you want to be a Nigerian or not, whether you want your new nation as Biafra or Duduwa or Amazonia or the Arewa. No. Everything that they have said that happened in 25 years ago is all repetition of what they are doing now. And then they sit back to be reading the nonsense long paper for their useless and gullible listeners who don't understand what history is all about. Now, Musa outrightly told the entire world that they are very happy reintegrating Boko Haram Islamic jihadist terrorists into the army, and it is very good and working very well for them. But they must go and kidnap Simon Ekpa. So you should now understand why this Biafra that all of you are fighting for must not be played with. Because if the government of the day, the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Federation has come out and said that we adopted the strategy of reintegrating and working with the terrorists is working very good for us. We are comfortable with this. Then, all of you that are serving in the Nigerian army who are not bona fide Boko Haram Islamic jihadist terrorists, you are fooled forever. If you did not leave the army before, and if you're still in the army till today, that means you will never be freed. Because at this very point, you should learn something from what Musa told you. You know, the last time Musa was telling the entire world that the issue of Biafra is that when they come to the southeast to bomb the Biafran people, the vegetations, the forests, the trees, the green leaves, the palm kernels trees, the palm trees, the palm front, the mango trees, the orange trees, the malina trees, the udara trees, and all the big, big trees that God has blessed us in Biafra lands with. That these trees makes it difficult for them to be able to aim on Biafrans and to kill them the way they are supposed to kill them. So that is what makes it difficult for them to kill them and to finish them. But in Sambisa forest, why did they call it forest? When you go to Sambisa forest, you cannot kill any of them. But in Biafra land, you want to have a clear field so that you can level them one time. When you come with the aircraft, you drop one bomb, bam, it will now finish all of them. You see, the God of Biafra makes it difficult for you to see the Biafra children and women when you come to kill them. The God of Biafra is what blindfolds the pilot that is inside that your terrorist aircraft to come to bomb Biafran people. And that is why whenever you come, we will see you, you will not see us. We will shoot down your aircraft and then you'll be whiling from Biafra land till you go and end up dying in Niger State. And this will continue because Biafra land must be defended at all costs. This is not 1967. So how will somebody argue the rationale that the military wing of a country is very comfortable working with the terrorists and having them as part of their armies? No wonder the indigenous persons in the army are always killed. And Martin Nnamdi Kanu had said this all along. The Prime Minister has said this all along. You people ignored. Indigenous people that are in the army, they are endangered species, while the Boko Harams are actually the ones in charge. The terrorists in the army that has been recruited are actually the ones in charge. Over 100 and something thousand have been recruited back into the army. And then you heard Musa say, oh, when we go into some communities, we ask them, do you have weapons? You are foolish. You come to my community to ask me if we have weapons. Then I'll go and tell you I have weapons. I'll come and show you. Then as we go inside, the next thing, the people you ask if they have weapons, they'll go and assume their weapons from the ground and start shooting you from the rear. Yes, because you are foolish. You are foolish because amongst all of you that comes into every community, no one of you is identified as an indigenous soldier. Because when an army is infiltrated of terrorists, every army personnel is a terrorist. You cannot differentiate who is an indigenous army and who is a terrorist. So therefore, all of them are terrorists invested. So you have to treat them all as such. And when you listen to the chief of defense staff of a country talk, you understand very well that this is not an army of defense. This is an army of occupation. They come to occupy, they come to massacre, they come to destroy, they come to reduce the numbers of people. The Biafra Liberation Army will continue to destroy these monsters. But if you think that you are monstrous, coming to Biafra land will make you understand that the Biafra Liberation Army are more monstrous in nature than you that you think that you are. Gumi is advocating for the terrorists on daily basis that if you kill one terrorist, you are killing Islamic Jihad and their hegemony. That the terrorists are their foot soldiers, that you don't have to touch them because they are fighting ethnic war. So there has been ethnic war declared in one Nigeria all these years, but yet they are telling you that there is no war ongoing. So one side have already decided that they are fighting ethnic war, while the other gullible people in the country are accepting that they are in a secular state, that they are in a comfortable zone, that they are very okay, that they are in one Nigeria. And you all are jubilating. Continue to jubilate, because the same way they speak with sweet mouth for you on their Democracy Day nonsense is the same way they will speak for you when they invade your communities and then babies, children, women, and men heads are chopped off. You see, BBC made it a laughable matter that BBC will see that babies, children, women, and men are slaughtered on daily basis in Nigeria. It is not something to be portrayed, or it is not something to be reported on BBC. But when a zombie junketing drug poisoned a walking corpse president was slipping off and falling like a baby, BBC World News found it so interesting to make it the headline. You see how useless the media has become. Because your lives are no priority. What you should focus on is comedy. That is why they normally give you BB Niger now. While Fulani Islamic jihadist terrorists are invading your communities to cut off heads, they keep you occupied with BB Niger so that you go and be watching breasts, go and be watching penis, go and be watching nyash, go and be watching how children of people are disgracing themselves on a live television. And then you will be paying money, recharging your card, opening your TV, using your phone, wasting your time to be watching nonsense. While they are invading the next community, you are busy glued to your phone watching Baby Niger, because they understand where your mind is. Comedy. Put their minds in there. Give them laughter. Let them laugh and continue to laugh till they cut their heads off. Then you'll be shining your 32 while your head was cut off. How many Christians Association of Nigeria were just beheaded a week ago? Have you heard any comment from the Nigerian authority? Have you heard any comments from the Christian Association of Nigeria? Can they themselves, the officials, person will know how to worship God, pass your own pastor? No, nonsense, people. So the deception will continue, but in Biafra land, the defense mechanism has been instituted. Ekpa, listen. If you're not supporting Biafra, you are Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister. The reason why they want him kidnapped, the same way they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is because he's not allowing over 50 babies, children, women, and men to be massacred. He's not allowing the heads of these babies to be chopped off, cut and sliced to pieces like they have done in Katsina in the past days. Is the reason because he has not allowed terrorists to invade your communities and for you to come and lay down the lifeless bodies of your mothers and fathers and on the ground, like they did in Benue days ago, like they did in Borno days ago, like they did in Niger days ago, like they did in Sokoto days ago, like they did in Kano days ago. There is no single day that there is no genocide committed on the indigenous people with the occupation army that has been brought into the communities. The reason why they want to kidnap Simon Ekpa, the reason why Musa is crying that Simon Ekpa should be kidnapped and brought to Nigeria the same way they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is because he has made it difficult. He has become a stumbling block. He has become a blockade against you cutting off the heads of Biafran children, turning them to widows, turning them to fatherless and motherless, desolating the communities and cutting everybody to pieces. These are the reasons why. Because the whole thing is about Islamic jihad. So for the jihad to prevail, every tool must be used. Remember very well that the APC was used as a tool for the Islamic jihad to prevail, which is playing the role of the Islamic party. The role of the jihad. Buhari in power, and over 100,000 were massacred this tenure. And none of you are talking about it. Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary, came into Nigeria. He supervised skeletons and dead bodies of babies, women, and children and walked past them in the bushes in the far north. Then all he could tell you is that you must go and reintegrate the same terrorists back into the defense forces. And that is what Musa did. That is why you had Musa tell you on international television that the idea of reintegrating and recruiting the over 200 and something Boko Haram terrorists into the army is a welcome idea and that it is working well. It is working very well because when you see them go on invasion of communities, when given such orders, would not like to carry it out. But the Boko Haram terrorists that have been reintegrated into the army will be the ones to carry out this kind of act. And they are ready to do anything to the extent and to the point of a suicide mission. That if they are given a bomb vest to wrap all over their body, enter into schools, enter into churches, enter into communities and market, and then they will do, not even minding the classes of people that are going to die in the process. It is what they do in the hope of marrying thousands of virgins when they go to heaven. Nonsense. So the Nigerian government is very proud to be using Boko Haram, Islamic jihadist terrorists, as their own foot soldiers to go into communities and to massacre indigenous people. When you saw the invasion of the Plateau community the last time, you saw arrays of coming all the way from the mountain, wailing. They were crying in broad daylight and they were videoing it and putting it on the media. Up to today, have you heard of any prop against the students that were massacred on that day? No. The thing is that when you walk out from your father's house, you know that you are going to live and die. So if your father sees you come back or your mother sees you, oh, glory to God, my son has gone and come back today. Because they have made you understand that Nigeria is turn by turn. So anytime you go out, you don't come back, you take it as your own fate. Then Musa is very, very happy and comfortable to come out, open his mouth wide on the television, and tell you Simon Ekpa must be kidnapped and brought back because he is stopping us from carrying out the massacre, the genocide, the slaughter, same way we do in the far north in Biafra land. There you go down to say Finland is supporting him and spearheading him and giving him succor. Yes, Finland will stand for what is right. Finland stood for what is right, and they will continue to stand for what is right. They stood to our defense in the 66 to 70s, and they have still come to stand again in this very time. Friends of good time are friends forever. Friends that stand when someone puts knife on your neck and then defends you to the last blood. Those are friends you need to speak of. Those are friends you need to always call upon. Those are friends you need to always remember. Because without Finland, our prime minister will not have a safe haven to be able to defend motherland. The objective was kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then bury all the Biafrans. Like Musa said, when we go to Biafra land to bomb them with the aircraft, we cannot see them from above because the vegetations, the trees and the forests and everything therein forbids us from seeing them clearly. You see, you understand the point now. So after kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you guys needed to have gone there and then bomb the entire community so that they will all die and they will never speak of Biafra again. So that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sits back in detention and see that there is no Biafran singing Biafra or all hail Biafra again, then he will know that his own is finished. Then he will give up on Biafra. But God brought Simon Ekpa out from Finland and gave us Soko from Finland. And because of his consistency and determination and focus on the ball of Biafra, the rising sun, today you are all crying. Why do you need to cry? No, you don't need to cry. You don't need to cry. You need to go back. You need to buckle up. You need to come back because the Biafra Liberation Army has not started the real deal yet. We are just pressing your neck. We have not even tested the microphone. We are just pressing your neck. You know how you test somebody's neck with a showy display? Yes, that is what we are doing. Let's wait till after the declaration, 2nd December 2024. Then you will see the declaration document. Because in today's democracy and politics, what speaks is documentation. When the entire nation of Biafra has spent their signatures and given their mandate for Biafra to be declared and restored, you will understand what it means and what it means and what will remind you of defending the integrity of a nation. For now, we are just pressing your neck. And it's good that you all continue to cry now so that the entire world will know what is happening. It is time that you people continue to help us to create the awareness. Yes, I love it when I see Musa cry because that creates the awareness that makes the entire world to know who Simon Ekpa is and what he is talking about and the reason why he makes the headlines. The reason why the entire nation is talking about him. It makes me happy when I see that the lawmakers' chambers, the biggest place like the Congress of America, in the name of the National Assembly, the Senate of one Nigeria, is seated down discussing Biafra. Discussing Simon Ekpa in proxy is discussing Biafra. How many of you had ever thought that the National Assembly of Nigeria would devote a day and sit down and they will be talking about Biafra? And then the Senate president will tell you that this matter of Simon Ekpa has become a national issue. We cannot continue to ignore it. That is why we are giving our time and concern because the ripple effect of this Biafra is hitting us on the ass. And we are feeling the pains from everywhere. Every part of the country who claims to ignore it, they are feeling it. Because we are not terrorists, that is number one. But what we are doing is speaking volume. The reaction and the action and the momentum and the result is hitting every part of the country. Before the National Assembly will come and sit down to talk about it, you should go and have a rethink to understand what it means. You know, I had thought that the National Assembly will sit down to be talking about what measures can we use to make sure we destroy the terrorists in the far north. Because destroying the terrorists in the far north is a bigger problem. And the reason why everybody in this country were talking and wants to go their way is because we have allowed insecurity to become the determinant of existence in this country. Insecurity has become the determinant of human life. How you will grow, if you will not grow, if you will be alive, if you will not be alive, if you will stay in this country, if you will not stay. Insecurity has been the bedrock. If you all did not overlook insecurity and decide to take sides with insecurity, will I be talking about Biafra? I have to stand up to defend my own people. That is what our supreme leader did. Because he saw that you are massacring people, coming, and he's telling you, stop it, stop it. Everybody should stand up and then defend themselves. He said, no. Then he said, okay, in that case, I have to take my own stand for my own people. We have to defend ourselves. And in defending ourselves, we cannot fight the common enemy when we know that there is so much of compromise. We have to dissociate ourselves from compromised leadership first and foremost. We stand on our own so that we will now be able to fight a common enemy. Because the arrays of enemies are humongous. So Biafra is the solution. But because you guys are useless, being in the Senate, gathering all day with your smelly pot bellies, with all the money that you have embezzled into your pocket, what could come into your mind is, we have to go and look for Simon Ekpa and kidnapped. We have to go and look for the Biafran Liberation Army and kidnap. Go down, go now. He's not just talking in the National Assembly and talking all trash and making that showy display of video so that the Nigerian people will be applauding you. For how many years you people have just been making noise like this? Has it stopped the Boko Haram terrorists from carrying out their ignorant crimes on the indigenous people? No, it has never stopped. It has never stopped, and it will not stop, because you people, Nigerian government, are now acting like the UK government and the American and the European government. How? This is how you are acting. You make use of every terrorist to be able to sell your interest and your political gain so that you will be on the top. That is why you are using Boko Haram terrorists. The main reason why you brought Boko Haram terrorists was to come and make sure you host Gulo Jonathan out of office, because you saw he was going to bring light. No, the government, the country, the administration must be in the hands of the terrorists so that they can continue to have dominance over every other person. So it must be one race, it must be one agenda, it must be one Sharia, it must be one jihad. So they had to bring Boko Haram in. Contracted terrorists. You brought them in, you hosted this man out, and then you gave it over to your boy. He continued from where you guys stopped before. The genocide continued. The Islamic jihadist conquest ethics reignited, coming down till now. Then you guys had somebody to sponsor you people with drug money. Tinubu had to sponsor the APC with the drug money. Not now that people now have other allegiances coming out from left, right, center. Now you say, oh, Finland is sponsoring Simon. You see how foolish you are. You talk from the two sides of your mouth. Yet you will still open your mouth on the same channel television and say, oh, we are tracing and we know their funds, their inflow of these funds are coming in. But you are the same person that say it's Finland that is supporting Simon Ekpa. So Finland is giving Simon Ekpa money to buy weapons, Abi? Or Finland is the one raising funds for Simon Ekpa to buy weapons to defend motherland? Mad people everywhere. Our fundraising is not a backdoor meeting. Our fundraising is open. This is a government, and the reason why you must see everything transparent so that you will know and there will be evidences. What we say in the dark, we say it here for you to hear it, because When you go and kill indigenous persons, you cut off heads of babies, women, and children, you don't keep those videos behind the scene. When you guys cut off the heads of the Christian Association of Nigerian officials last week, you videoed it and put it on the media. It was on the media. United Nations have seen it. European Union have seen it. The UK have seen it. The US have seen it. The OAU have seen it. The Russians have seen it. The Asians have seen it. The Antarcticans, they have seen it. The Caribbeans have seen it. Everybody have seen it. But they have not said anything, right? Okay. It is Biafra that you come to say something. Mad people. We cannot fold our arms to watch you come and cut our own children to pieces. Because in your Nigeria now, cows are now VIP citizens. Discuss inside your Senate that cows can own passports, that cows can own the same rights as a human being owns. So cows are treated as important properties. As cows are treated as important properties and treated as human beings, oh, you don't have to carry out such law against the cow. Master. So we don't want to be treated as cows, and we don't want to live in a country where we share the same right with cows. We are no cows. We are Biafrans. So if, oh my God, when I listened to that senator, there was one senator that said that 100 trillions of cows does not worth the life of one human being. There was one senator that said so. He said 100 trillions of cows does not worth the life of one human being, does not worth the life of one baby that is human being. So why are you people saying that cows should be treated as citizens of the country? This is why you people worship cow. This is why people even have sex with cow. After having sex with cow, you use the same cow to do sacrifice. You still use the same cow to come and sell and give the people to buy and eat. Cows that have been invested of sicknesses. Cows that you people have used to do juju finish. Oh my God. Biafrans are no cows, and Biafrans can never accept themselves to cohabit with cows, neither to share the same right with cows. We are not animal nation, and we can never be, and we can never allow it to come to be. That is why we will resist every avenue of aggression and terrorism against the indigenous people of Biafra. Biafra land is not Abuja. Biafra land is not Kafanchan. Biafra land is not the far north. The earlier you guys get this straight into your thick skulls, the better for you. Musa, your shame, they shame me. Know why your shame, they shame me? Because you happen to touch rifle. Then there are many of us here that have also touched rifle. So when you speak, your shame, they shame us. When you speak, your shame, they shame us, Musa. Because I did not expect that someone that has touched rifle and gone to a military training like you will be speaking the way you speak. Your shame! The shame people we don't also touch rifle before. Very, very shameful. And we don't know how to put this. Hi! In this very life. Please, if you want to come for Simon Ekpa, come in the open. Yes. And when you are coming, prepare very well. And if you are coming in the spiritual, let us also know. Because now we are prepared in all ramifications. But the entire world and the Biafran people should understand that the reason why they say they want Simon Ekpa kidnapped is because He is stopping the terrorists, which the Nigerian army have recruited into their army to use and kill indigenous people in the far north. Simon Ekpa is stopping them from carrying out the same crimes in Biafra land. And to this end, Biafran people, which they call IPOB, meaning indigenous people of Biafra, have a government. And that government is the Biafran Republic government in exile, headed by the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the man that they want to hang his head on the spike, the man that they want to kill, the man that they say he has done evil by defending his people and protecting his motherland. That is the man they want to kill. That is the man they want to be destroyed because he is defending motherland. So if you're listening to us, listen very well. We will continue to speak for Biafra and we will continue to defend Biafra and motherland. And there is nothing that can stop us and there is nothing that will hinder us. Today is Thursday. From your end, it may be Friday, and from your end, it may be Wednesday. But on Saturday, it is our mega fundraising, where all Biafrans gather to contribute what they have, to buy weapons to defend motherland. We have an army, and that army is called the Biafra Defense Force, where we have segments of different defense groups. You have the Liberation Army, you have the Resistance Fighters, you have the Dragon Marine, you have many that you don't know their names. Yes, you don't need to know all of them, but we have the Defense Force of Biafra, Biafra Defense Force. That is the forces of Biafra that is defending Biafra that you see Musa cry on daily basis. We are not getting aid from anybody. It is the Biafran people that unanimously come together on every Saturday that raise funds that we use to defend motherland. Yes. So when you hear Musa crying and calling of Finland, tell Musa to go to school because the very NDA that he attended, many of us went there, but we learned something. But his own, he did not learn anything. So at this very point, Musa does not know the meaning of government in exile. Because if Musa knew, he wouldn't be coming out to talk from the two sides of his mouth. Yes. At this very point, Musa does not understand what it means to have a government with legitimacy, a government that is saddled with the responsibility of protecting our own people, not allowing their people to be slaughtered by the invaders or the aggressors and the assailants that will run in and out. Musa was enumerating tactical measures of killing people because he was not talking about killing terrorists. He was talking about killing people, killing indigenous persons. And these are measures that should not be deployed on armed civilians. These are measures that are only supposed to be deployed on aggressors, on terrorists that are coming against you. But you see, Musa has decided to make himself the enemy of the people. So if you do not know Musa very well, know it now that they have used him to destroy him and they are going to destroy him. And in this very Biafra that we are now, we don't look face of whoever the zoo will use to destroy his or herself. We will help you to buy as the zoo wants to use you. So Saturday is our mega fundraising. So Musa, you have been seeing how we do the fundraising, and yet you don't want to believe and assimilate only that one. No, you want to always come out and say that Finland is giving us weapons. That Finland is supporting us with this and supporting us with that. Okay, even if Finland is giving us weapons or supporting us with anything, what crime is there? As a government in exile, we have the power to liaise with countries on treaties and diplomatic ties. As a government in exile, we have the power to go into armed struggle. As a government in exile, we have the power for importation of firearms to the defense of our motherland. As a government in exile, we are saddled with the responsibilities of engaging countries diplomatically and politically and otherwise, and even military-wise. So we have the right to engage any country and to get arms and ammunition with whatever terms that we put on the table. It is the power that we have as a government, and we can do it. So if you want to go and drink acid and die, so be it, Musa, and get close to the nearest transformer because it will do you good. But for the Biafran people, we will touch every door that we have to touch to see that Biafra is restored. We will touch every door that we need to touch to see that motherland is secured. We will touch every door that we need to touch to see that our women and children and babies and fathers will not be crying and wailing, seeking for succor from where they know they cannot get. No, we will not stop giving Biafran people the security that they deserve. That is why a government was inaugurated. That is why the people gave their mandate to the Prime Minister to secure their territory. And we will do this jealously, I tell you, Musa. The Biafra Republic government in exile will continue to do this jealously, 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 multiplied 100 times and 1,000 times. And if you think that we are joking, you come down to Biafra land yourself and join the battlefield. Stop sitting down in the studio to talk nonsense. When you send the field marshals, try to be the field marshals on one of the occasions so that you will understand the terrain. If those that tested the terrain in 1967, when they were just coming in, within 24 hours, when they woke up in the morning, they were seeing their dead bodies littered everywhere. And then they have given the testimony till today. You now, you will tell your own in a different way. But remember to go and ask Britain why they had to come with the airstrike, with the blockade of land A and C. It was because we had defeated you all before then. I salute all Biafran people. Be part and parcel of the mega fundraising on Saturday. And do not be shivered. Do not be deterred of your courage. Do not in any way derail because of the comments coming from the Islamic jihadist terrorist leaders. No. Democracy is what they used to deceive themselves, and they were reading paper. Countries that you all are residing, they are allowing you to exercise the real essence of democracy. Countries from where countries that you are all residing are exercising democracy and human rights, and they know your importance. So Nigeria do not know your importance. Even when you sacrifice so much, even where you are now, you are working to be contributing to the economy of Nigeria, but they don't know your importance. The money that you remit down to Nigeria on daily basis in the name of helping your families and friends and those that are in need, that money that you are remitting, just the interest that Nigeria derives from what you make and send to them, is helping the economy of Nigeria, but they don't know your value. So countries of your residence, they know your importance. So when you hear this idiot speak on the national television, do not get yourself carried away. Freedom is your constitutional right. You have to exercise your freedom. You have to self-determine. You have to decide if you want your head to be cut off or if you want to be running and crying while the enemy that came after you will still come for your head and still kill you. Because when you run away, the enemy coming after you will see aim at you and then still kill you. And you will die as a coward and you will make no difference. Those countries you find yourselves today, they fought for their liberation. They fought for their freedom to come to be. They fought in cold blood. Nigeria did not go and fight for them. They fought for themselves. And today, it is a safe haven. So, do not be discouraged. Stand your ground. This is the time you need to multiply your focus and your momentum on the Biafra liberation support. And in everything that you know how to do best. Do it. Do it in high esteem. Increase the momentum. God has given you the enablement to support this liberation and this government financially, because we need money to do everything. Without your money, we cannot achieve anything. Yes, because we need the money to acquire the ammunitions we need for those that we don't produce and those that we need to buy to be able to complete one thing and another. We need money to do this and that. We need money for all logistics. So, please and please, do not be discouraged. Do not stand on defense. This is high time that you come with all the money that you have. And remember that the America, the UK, the Europe, the Asia, the Austria, and the many countries and nations that you find yourself and continents, they cannot save you. Listen very well. They cannot save you. Have you seen the UK government disown the Nigerian students that were on scholarship, which their money they cannot pay up again by those that send them there? Have you seen that they have disowned them and said they have to go back? They cannot carry your responsibility. Oh. Now, this is the same thing that applies when you think that as you japa from Nigeria to anywhere, that your own don't they settle. Where you there, you're comfortable. You say you don't want to do Biafra. You don't want to do Oduduwa. You don't want to do Ambazonia. Huh? Any day he fooled the head of that country to carry you throw back to your country, they can do it. Because why? It is not your country. You don't have the right the same way the indigenous persons of that country has right. You are just a visitor. Forget the fact that you marry one of them and then you have the passport of that country. Forget the fact that you have stayed there and acquired all the documents in one way or another. All those are bunkums. The day you are to be sent back, you will be sent back, and there is nothing that can stop them. When they carry their people stand, test their DNA, they see who is indigenous person of India. They see who is indigenous person of Kuwait. They see who is indigenous person of Switzerland. They see who is indigenous person of America. They see who is indigenous person of Europe. They see who is indigenous person of Britain. It is not you. Your own is acquired paper. Acquired paper. You did not born with it. You were acquired. Uh-huh. Even the children that you born there, they are acquired because they come from your blood. Mhm. You acquired them. Then they carry the documents. Then they will tell them and tell you, go back to where you belong. That is when you remember that you had a home which you rejected and abandoned. Go back and fight for your own home and make it to be a living home. Support Biafra liberation because we need money. Every Biafra license in your countries, get to know them, get to know the admins, your continental reps, get to know your admins, your representatives in your country, so that you key in and know what is happening. Contribute your quota in the financial contribution of the liberation, and have your receipt of payment so that when you are applying for your ID card, you can put it in as a financially up-to-date contributor of the liberation, so that your status in Biafra will be upgraded. You will be on a better scale. You will have the right as a citizen. You will not have to be treated as a foreigner in your own land, because these are the measures that the government of Biafra is adopting, and there is nothing that can change it. I know some of you may say, oh, so some of these laws will be reviewed. Don't worry. You're wasting your time. Go and support Biafra liberation and be part and parcel of the Biafra liberation. I salute all of you. I salute my co-host, Minister Stella, Minister Kama Israel, Minister Goodinamba, Chukuma Eze, God Knoweth, Misha, Simon, Isidone Frank, 247, my minister, Ogochuku Christopher, Ronnie, then MID, BRGIE, Ben Chooks, OB Chicago, Wisdom Archbishop University, David Nana, and many of you. I see Chinwe, I see Veteran Dragon, I see Chizoba. I salute all of you. I see Ife, I see Anasta. Let's hang on. I see my able admin there, Mazi Chibueze. I see Adaoma. I see Ugo, Amoche, Ata, Ejike, Oluwole. I see all of you. Biafra is our name. Biafra is our identity. Biafra is our cause. Let's speak Biafra. Let's wear Biafra. And let's be Biafra. There we from here.
Ndewo. Thank you, our information minister. Can somebody hear me? Kama, can you hear me? Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I salute all the ministers in the house. I salute Kama Israel, Ronnie, like our minister, saluted everyone. So all protocols observed. And so the topic is Musa wants Ekpa kidnapped, but Boko Haram in the army is very good. Yes, so that's what Musa wants. Musa will always want something that does not exist. Boko Haram and Musa military boys are one and the same. They are for one Islamic agenda. So whenever you hear Boko Haram, you hear Nigerian army, it's the same agenda. Or you hear Fulani herdsmen. They are all one and the same. Because they are very good in deception, they planned it that when they're now attacking Christians in the north, they will use Fulani herdsmen, or sometimes they call them bandits. When they now come down in Biafra land, they will use Nigerian military. And that's why you see Musa jumping up and down. And when the Islamic Nigeria army kills a Christian Nigeria army, Musa will not say anything. Musa will become deaf and dumb and blind on top of it. So he is very busy doing people the more you look, less you see. Calling Simon Ekpa here and Simon Ekpa there, kidnap him and don't kidnap him. Meanwhile, bad things are happening in the north. In the northern part of Nigeria, real bad things are happening. But Musa wouldn't see it. Because they are all on the same mission. That's why Musa will never speak concerning the killings going on in the north. And even in his own land. Therefore, I want to appreciate, first of all, Finland. Finland has been kind to us. They have been supporting and defending our PM. In fact, they have been looking out for us, even while me, for example, I was in my mother's womb. Finland was looking out for me. That was how we saw the woman that was looking for people to support Biafra in 1968. So I have to shout out to Finland. appreciate them for their kindness, for their good hearts towards Biafrans. We appreciate you, Finland, for the protection you are giving to our PM. I salute you, Finland. We will continue to defend ourselves with some of our don't carry last at all. We are hardworking people, industrious. We are also honest people. When you come to do business with Biafrans, you can be sure you are doing good business. When we enter in our USB, guys, you will see companies, industries rushing down to Biafra land because they know we are business people and we are smart and industrious people. They will come and we will do good business. Nigeria is a terrorist state. They don't believe in any democracy. And they have never used the democratical system of government. Never. They have never used it. It's a terrorist state. All they know how to do is to kill, lie, rape, kidnap, and do unlawful arrests. Force people to be converted to Islam. You refuse to be converted, they chop off your head. That's all they know how to do. Crimes upon crimes, abominations upon abominations going on in Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed country. It's a fragile country. Nigeria is a frozen country, and as such must be dissolved so that people inside there can have life. Divide Nigeria and let the indigenous people go and rule themselves. Free houses. Free the Yorubas or the Oduduwas. Free the Middle Belt and Biafrans so that people can have life. Kidnapping is not part of democracy. Don't mind Nigeria. If now, first of all, when they want to start democracy, let them first of all release Mazen and the Kanu.
Nandi, Nandi, Onyamuma, Nandi, Kenetiku, Nazala, Nandi,
Cause Kama is real. Are you there? Kama is real. Kama is real. You're not there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Take over, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that, good sermon, educating Musa and his cohort. They think they understand what democracy is all about, but they don't. They're just pretending and camouflaging in international community, thinking that they can deceive people. But unfortunately for them, we know better than them. And we know where they're going. We know their plan. We know what they're trying to do. Musa is actually working for Shetima. The same way Ifeanyi Uba is working for Shetima. And I hope Uzodimma is also working for Shetima. These are people that have signed the agreement with Shetima, believing that very soon Shetima will take over and they will be well positioned and they will be given heaven and earth. But we understand them very, very well. We know them very, very well. Musa is always coming out calling the name of PM and all that. It's a very good publicity for us. It's a very good publicity. I believe that Chukwu Okike Abiama is tormenting him every day by day. He's always hearing the voice of PM every day, every day. He's not comfortable, without mentioning that name. The way he's saying it in the public is also the way he's discussing it with the individuals. When he calls somebody, maybe in international community, he will mention Simon Ekpa. When he goes to a meeting, he will mention Simon Ekpa. Because for him to be saying it in the public shows that he's restless without mentioning that name. And obviously, Chukwu Okike Aka Chukwu Dia is not in vain. This is a general. This is a general. Supposedly, well-trained military man, according to his rank. But look at the way he's belittling himself, bringing himself down every day. I don't think he's doing it with his own clear eye. Something is always pushing him. Going to their media, they say they don't want to talk about Biafra in the media, but look at it the other way around. Musa is the one going to NTA, TVC, all these their channels preaching about Biafra. Remember that anytime he mentioned Simon Ekpa, it's as if he's also mentioning Biafra. Because PM is the face of the struggle at the moment. So anytime, any day, he mentioned PM, he's actually mentioning Biafra in the international community. The same thing they are doing in the Red Chamber. He started it in the Red Chamber. They summoned him, and the only message he had for them was Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa is becoming a menace, and that is how you know the voice of someone that has been defeated. Biafra has actually defeated Nigeria, and they are crying every day by day, every day by day. A whole day dedicated for one man, talking about one man. They are talking about Biafra. It doesn't matter what they call him. They are talking about Biafra. They are talking about MNK. That they think, oh, if we put him in that dungeon, everything is over. But every day, they are mentioning him. Every day. That is to tell you that Akachukudia. I keep saying it, we are at the injury time, the last lap of the race. We are at the perilous time. PM said it. They will throw every dart you can think of. They will throw it to us. But it's time for us to be strong. Not only to be strong, but for us to bring everything in us for this fight. Money is needed. Your energy is also needed. But mostly money is needed for this last fight. We already have army. We have defense force. We have, all of them. They need to be well equipped in this last rap. These people cannot defeat Biafra. It's impossible. As long as me and you continue to do the needful. It's good to come online and talk, but talking without action will not do us good. So please support. Increase your support at this last, like our minister said, don't think that what you're doing is in vain. I say, Abacha also a go mile. It's not in vain. What you are doing is not in vain. At the end, the people who refuse to do this work, I don't know. I don't want to say it, but I don't want to keep saying it. But they will know that Biafrans are not laughing. We're not the only country that have received their freedom. And today, those that refuse to do the needful, to support, are more like second-class citizens in their own country because they refuse to fight for their freedom. Freedom is not free. Freedom is not cheap. It costs a lot. Up to today, the Ukraine president is still going around looking for money, asking for equipment all over the world up till today, with every money, every penny given to him, from America, from UK, from Canada, from all over, from EU, he's still asking for more money. Talk more of Biafra. Please support. Please support. We need your support at this time around. Join us every Saturday. Every Saturday. Come out and put your name in the book of life so that you will be counted at the last day. We need you. Our PM need your support. That is the only energy you can contribute. That is the only energy you can contribute is your support. PM is ready for them. Is always ready for them. I can see sometime on comment section, they will be the one asking, do you sleep at all? All these Afonjas, they will be the one asking if PM, do you sleep at all? Let's fight this thing once and for all. Let's get our freedom from this janjaweed and go home and develop world-class city. The best in the whole wide world. Better than Dubai and other countries that we've been to. Others will be coming to visit. Everything you can think of, we're going to have it in Biafra land. We're going to bring it. We're going to bring Dubai. We're going to bring America. We're going to bring the UK. All in Biafra land. People will be traveling all over the world, coming to Biafra land. We're going to bring that Jerusalem that people travel for pilgrimage. We're going to create it in Biafra land. So please join hand. Let's do these things. Let's get this thing done. You can see from every angle that these people, they've been defeated. Forget about all this, their mirage, show of force and all that. Forget about it. They are less in number. We've taken over completely. That's why you see them dancing on the street, showing different, just pretending as if they still have army. They have nothing at the moment. No police. You can't see any police on the road. They are just hiding, all of them. Come out in mass and give your support. Come this Saturday. You don't have to wait. The website is always open 24/7. Go and give your donation. Thank you so much. Stella, are you back? Stella, have you been kicked out? Okay. Mazi Onyeka, I think your hand has been up. After you, then my co-host Chukuma will take over. Mazi Onyeka, are you there? All right, Chukwumeze, go ahead, please.
I am here. I am here. I am here, my.
Give it to. No. Give it to Sister Stella. Yes, let her speak. Let her finish. Let her finish her submission. You hear me? Come on.
Yeah, she's not. She's trying to connect. She has not been. She hasn't connected yet. Mazi Onyeka is also having challenge as well. Please, if you want to talk, you can raise your hand at this time around, so that we can bring you in. If you want to say something,
Okay,
raise your hand.
Ronnie, go ahead, Ronnie.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, sir. Our Minister of Information, Mazi Sonia Balawa. Karma is real. Chukwumeze. Mazi Nkode number. Wari's sister. Biafra League. Ben Chooks. Our university. Mr. Snow, Simon Ekpa, and all the rest. My sister Chinwe, it's been a while. Shimon, our minister will go. Frank, and all the rest of the warriors in the house, I salute you all. It's amazing when you start hearing them, especially Musa, who is a terrorist, canvassing for extradition of one of the peaceful ambassador, Mazin Simon Ekpa. Maybe he doesn't understand what peaceful ambassador means, ambassador of peace. This is the person who is working. He claimed to be, his name is Christopher Musa, if I'm correct. He will be claiming to be a Christian while he's a useful idiot in Quran they are using to kill his fellow Christians. He should have known that after these jihadis finish using him, they're going to kill him. He should go and ask of the former chief of army staff from Benue, Bade. That one was the one they used, destroy, kill Christians during Jonathan administration. At the end of the day, they killed him. So, Musa, you are not safe. You are not safe. You can only be safe if you can reason with Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and all Biafrans to canvass for the freedom of your own people. Because the people that you think you are working with, they are using you now. They're going to kill you. They're going to dump you. Nigeria is a terrorist country, a country that supports terror, that give free hand to terrorists. Why go after freedom fighters? Why go after innocent people? Look at what is happening in Aba. They will go and arrest innocent citizens, accusing them of being the one killed Soya. When the Biafra Liberation Army has already made it clear to them that they are responsible. Why haven't they gone there? Because they are cowards. They can't do anything.
This is the country that is sponsoring terrorism boldly on a daily basis. They are using what they do is just as our minister said. They will go to the north. They will call them bandits. They will not use their military terrorist army uniform in Biafra land to kill us. The only sin Mazi Simon Ekpa committed is saying, no, you can't kill my people anymore. And these people, they think they don't know that the international community know the game they are playing. Maybe they don't know the meaning of Biafra Republic government. Government in exile is a government now. It's not about Mazi Simon Ekpa, Musa. It's about a government. So before you think of extraditing him or extraditing him, or before you think, because you don't know what the meaning of extradition means, what you know is how to kidnap. Just know that is a government versus government. You cannot just wake up and start kidnapping a prime minister of a government. It doesn't happen that way. This time around, we are not backing down. We are not moving an inch. No inch of our land will be given to Fulani terrorists or the evil contraction called Nigeria. We have made up our mind not to continue to use our blood to hold the evil contraction as one. We are living.
Is Ronnie speaking?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ronnie is still speaking. Ronnie is still speaking.
All right, just let me know when it's done, because I don't know what's going on, but I can hear every other person. I can hear Ronnie. Just let me know when it's done.
Okay, okay. Should I continue, Kama?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Is it
like
done?
I got, no, I'm not done yet.
Is Ronnie done? Okay.
So, like I
Maybe
got,
hold on. I will let you know when Ronnie is done.
All right.
all right. So, Nigeria is a terrorist state. It has been made known. Everybody knows that. This is a country that allowed terrorists to have free hand in the north. As we speak right now, the food scarcity you are experiencing in Nigeria at the moment is caused by these terrorists. They have free will. The other day they were having meeting, public meeting, on a broad daylight in Borno State, recruiting their people, recruiting new ones. And we didn't see you, Musa, going there to apprehend them. We didn't see you, Musa, getting the villagers from that Borno arrested for aiding and abetting terrorists. But you have the guts to go to Biafra land, Aba to be precise, and be arresting innocent people. You are crossing your line. Musa, you have crossed the line. You have crossed that line. And let me tell you something. This new generation of Biafran you see, we are not backing down. We are just giving you this warning now. A time will come when we will not listen to your trash and we will take it head on. Stop killing Biafrans. Stop killing Biafrans. Stop accusing our PM. His only sin is saying no to your terrorism. And we are not going to back down. So if you are here, you have been sitting on the fence, you better wake up. This is the time to support what we are doing. It is not easy, and we cannot do those things with bare hands. It's money. Money is needed. So put in your best. The little one you have been doing, double it. This is the time to stay focused. It's not the time to listen to side gossip. There are a lot of them online now. They suddenly, didn't you see suddenly now they have loved Igbos. They are now the one that love Igbos. They are not the one that love us, Biafrans, so much. They are not telling you, the problem we are having is Simon Ekpa. No, no, no. Simon Ekpa is not the problem. No longer Boko Haram. No longer Fulani terrorists that have been terrorizing people on daily basis. International community, I want you to be on the know that Nigeria is a terrorist state, and they are planning to use Nigeria, their terrorists are planning to use Nigeria as an epicenter toward terrorism. So whatever you see them telling you on their crooked and paid media houses are false. They are liars. There is no truth in them. What they do is to give free hand to terrorists while going after the people who doesn't want those terrorists to kill them. I yield my mic. Thank you.
Chukwumeze, are you there now?
Yeah, I'm there. Is Ronnie done?
Yes,
Ronnie's done.
Ronnie is done. Yes, he's
Okay.
done. He's done.
Let me just say something briefly. Then I'll give to Onyeka. Mazi Onyeka hand has been up for a while.
All right.
Yeah. So you see, I just wanna first of all, before I proceed, let me observe our protocols. Good day to my honorable information minister. Good day, all ministers on this X space. Greetings to our prime minister, wherever he is. Greetings to our supreme leader, Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu. Greetings to all friends of Biafra, all lovers of freedom. Those who agree with what we are doing, greetings. And to our enemies, you can continue to watch us and watch how we cruise into our victory. Yeah, you see, nothing seems to amaze me when it comes to the zoo. Every day, you wake up to one shenanigans, to one idiocy, one stupidity of the zoo. You know, their criminality, they've gotten themselves involved in so many criminality that they have become so emboldened that criminality now just, it seems nothing to them. And they feel like they can do anything they want to do and break any law they want to break. They thought that what they did to our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is the same thing that they can do to our prime minister. That is why that idiotic Senator Baribe can come out boldly and say he went to see the Finnish ambassador, the UN ambassador,
My
and all
brother,
those
my brother,
rubbish.
Senator Ewu Iberibe, Senator Ewu Eyinaya Iberibe, Senator Ewu Eyinaya Iberibe, please.
Yeah. So you see, it's because of their criminality. You understand? But one thing that the zoo, Musa, and all of them fail to understand is that the way our liberation is waxing so strong in the sense that we have naked the zoo before the eyes of the whole world. That anybody that venture, that ever try to align themselves with the zoo, their image will be dented and their image will be destroyed. So they're still living in the past, not knowing that the whole world now is getting ready for Biafra. And it is good what they are doing. It is good because we need that awareness. If they like, whether they fight us, whether they talk about us, whether they talk positive or negative about us, it is just creating the awareness. Remember what our leaders say. He said a time will come whereby we will not pay nobody to talk about us. They will be the one talking about us. And today, that's what is happening. It's happening before our very own eyes. And to all those of you who are sitting on the fence, I want to ask a question. You listen to Onyendu when he was still with us. And he made a lot of prophecies. All those prophecies right before your very own eye are coming to pass. And everything he said and how he said to go listen to Mazi Simon Ekpa, our PM, everything is happening. So what more other evidence do you need before you can stand up and join what we are doing? But what I want to tell you is continue to stand on the fence. That's at your own peril. Whether you join us or you don't join us, Biafra must come. So for Musa and the zoo, Musa is crying because they are losing every day. And I want to let our people know. You understand? What propels an army to victory is the morale of of their military. It's the morale of those army. You can have 400,000 army, but once their morale is low, they're as good as nothing. And right now, in the current state of the zoo army, their morale is very low. And their morale has been, and they have been infiltrated by so many terrorists, even the indigenous ones that are there. You understand? They are an endangered species, they are at risk. So even if they want to fight, they can't fight with all their mind because they don't know if the next man behind them that is claiming to be their fellow army colleague is a terrorist and is about to shoot them. So the zoo is down, the zoo is gone. What they are doing now is just, you know how scavengers act after the big cat has finished eating the meat. Then whatever is left, the scavenger will come. So what you are seeing now is the last remain of the zoo, and trying to like just try acting like the crowd of a dying horse, thinking that they are going to try to conquer, they're still going to try to defeat us, but they don't know we have moved past all that. They are still living in the past, thinking that they will still do what they did to our fathers between 1967 to 1970 to us. But today it is a different ball game because we have gone and read that history. We have read everything that happened, and now we are applying it in our own time to make sure that the mistakes our fathers made, it never happens again. And one thing I want us to understand, you see, when you are reading about the history of Biafra, as you read more, you continue to get more insights. Your eyes become open. You start to analyze things critically and trying to figure out what really happened, what really happened. And it has finally occurred to me that Biafra, that war between 1967 to 1970 needed to happen to awaken our people. Because even after those colonial masters came and subjugated us into slavery, and while they were doing what they are doing, behind the back doors, they were changing the history, taking away everything that will link us back to history to make us know who we are. So at that point, we didn't even know that we used to be Biafran, except for some few who still have that in their archives. So Anchuko Kikabiama, being the God that never abandoned his children, know that a time like this will come, whereby this entity that we have been forced into by the British, we plan to exterminate us. But what happened? That one needed to happen so that a lot of people can wake up, so that people can start asking questions, and people can start seeing that, Biafrans can start seeing that the environment that they find themselves in, you understand, is an environment of hatred. And for me, I want to say, it started with Franco Pigo by bringing that name and suggesting it to Ojukwu. Our internal leader took up that mantle with the mandate of all the chiefs in Biafra territory there, and decided to go to that war to make sure that we protect ourselves as a race. And even after, as everything was going, a lot of things happened to still further show us that these people hated us. The world never liked us. Even the United Nations, they never liked us. Britain has always been using our Biafrans to play politics for their own selfish interests and their own gain. Even at the height of the genocide of kids dying in Biafra, the then PM of the stupid PM of the British government, Lord Wilson, he mentioned it that no amount of lives that are lost by the children of Biafra that matters to the interests of Britain. Even at that point, when things were beginning to turn against them, because the images of the journalists that came to Biafra that were taking images of the humanity crisis, the catastrophe that was going there, that was putting it out in the public. As he began to go, it was during that time that even the same British people British government were heading into election. Harold Wilson, you understand, was so scared he might lose his seat. He even had to come to the zoo in the middle of that crisis. He came to the zoo, and it's the same thing that I've always done. Anytime they visit the zoo, they don't come to the east. The only thing he did, he visited Gowan. After visiting Gowan, he tried to call our leader Ojuku to see if he can foster some resolution so that he will gain back popularity in his election. So right from the inception, these people have always hated us. These people have always hated us. No, they never liked us. We should not be in that place where we are today. We should be in our own nation, doing things our own way, handling our own affairs, you understand, determining how we want our future and the future of our children to be. So right from the inception, they've always hated you as a Biafran. So now that we are waxing stronger, you have every opportunity to do the needful and get this freedom. So why would you want to continue to sit on the fence? And let me tell you something. Chukwu Okike Abiyama never abandoned us. I don't want to know he never abandoned us. He brought that message, the name of Biafra, to Franco Pigo, you understand? And as soon as that name was brought to Ojukwu, Ojukwu adopted it. Because when something is your own, you understand, it doesn't take so long for you to attract towards it. You understand? It's like the law of nature. It's just like when you give birth to a child, you understand? No matter anywhere, as long as your blood runs in that child, there will still be some similarities of you in that child. It's the same thing. As soon as that name Biafra was suggested to our internal leader, he adopted it. Remember, it started with Franco Pigo. God gave it to him. He passed it to Ojukwu. Even when it seemed like we were losing the war because of the blockade and the starvation that was going on, even when our internal leader left, when he left, they said he was a coward because what Gowon wanted to do was to defeat Biafra to the extent that he would capture Ojukwu and behead him. The history is there. He wanted to do that. But Ojukwu took that away from him. And he left. He left and went into exile. Even while in exile, Gowon government was still trying to extradite him so that they can still try him and kill him. But it never worked. But let me tell you something. Do you know the symbol of Ojukwu leaving Biafra at that point was because Ojukwu took Biafra with him. Ojukwu leaving Biafra at that point made Biafra still alive. And even after Ojukwu, after everything that happened, as years down the line, after he was pardoned and he came back to the zoo, he still carried Biafra in him. He was still talking about Biafra. You can see it every time he speaks, let my people go. He always talked about Biafra. And even before he died, he passed it on to Uwazurike. Biafra never died. That means Chukwu Okike Abiyama has always kept Biafra alive for us so that we can take what belongs to us. He never died. Uwazurike ran his thing for 10 years. He fell off the cliff. Even while during that period he was running it, our leader Onyendu was in Masob. And the batting automatically fell into the hands of our leader. And our leader took it over. And he formed IPOB. He kept it running. So if you just look at the continuity, he never died. There was always somebody who was a Biafran that the baton of Biafra has always been in his hands. And they kept passing it down from Franco Pigo to Ojukwu to Uwazurike to our leader Onyendu. And now the baton has now fallen in the hands of our prime minister. And he's going to be the end and he's going to be the finisher. So God has always had us in his thoughts. He never abandoned us. Even as he made us scatter around the world, he did that for a purpose because we are going to need funds to fund this movement at this point in time. That was why you and I and every one of you who is out there in the diaspora went out. Go out there and search for greener pasture. So if God has blessed you wherever you are, now is the time to give back a portion of that which He has given to you, so that we can get this freedom, so that the next generation to come, you understand, will not suffer this thing. When you read the history of that one, everything, you understand, you will sit down and ask yourself, why is humanity so heartless like this? The shenanigans you see United Nations doing today didn't start today. It has always been happening. And that's why another thing I want to point out is, before I give the mic to Onyeka, another thing I want to point out is, it is very important we stick to the template of our prime minister. Follow him. Let's trust him. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna bring us Biafra. You understand? Because even during that war, there was an incident that happened that was going on in the zoo. Some oil companies from Lebanon, Italy, and Germany. There were like about 18 of them. You understand? Even at the height of that crisis, they were still drilling oil for the zoo in Kwale. And when Ojukwu found out, they went there, because by that time, Biafra was already gathering sympathy from some countries, like the likes of Canada and the rest of them. You understand? That was speaking up to resolve the crisis going on in the zoo. You understand? So as soon as those people were captured and were tried, you understand, they were supposed to be sentenced. They were supposed to be sentenced to death. Do you know what happened? The whole world started turning against Biafra and said, what kind of people are these? Are these the kind of people that you want to give freedom? Our internal leader started asking them, how many lives of a black man or of a Biafran that will equal the lives of one white man? So you see, in as much as we are doing what we are doing, we need to be very careful, because at any slightest opportunity, these people will paint us a bad name. So, but this time we have come in a different dimension. And it is this new dimension that our Prime Minister brought that will give us this freedom. So please, let's do the needful, let's support, let's vote, we need money. Ammunitions are expensive, weapons are expensive, we need it. So please, let's all do our best. And trust me, Biafra will come. Thank you. Onyeka, let me give you the mic. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Biafrans. I greet you, fellow great Biafrans, my honorable ministers, my comrades and ladies, friends of Biafrans. Thank you for your good words. I say more grace to your elbows. Yes, you have said it all. You see, sometimes whenever I see space, Musa post, Channel TV post his garbage, I do ask them, how did he become general? Unarguably, by killing innocent Biafrans, made him general. You know, what our Prime Minister deprived them over the years, this is what has been going on, but our people don't understand. When they tell you they come to do Python dance, after killing Biafrans, harvesting their organ, they went into bunkering. All of them made billions from oil bunkering, oil and gas bunkering. You know, this is what most of them lobbied themselves to be made military shift to be posted in Biafra land. Either some of them will be doing extortion. All the extortion they're doing in our roads, Musa is getting his own share. He's getting his own share. So all these things, all this evil that have been doing in our land over the years, going to bunkering, and